Hey guys, how's it going? It's your boy Kai Sage here, bringing you back another video. This is my state of PvP for the Firesong patch. Now, I know this patch has been out for a while. I know everyone's probably done their state of PvP already, but I did kind of just get back to playing after a few months break. And this is for specifically the PvP event. So if you're kind of just coming back to the game like myself, or maybe you're just curious on my thoughts because you've been a follower for a while, or maybe you're coming back only for the PvP event and you just want to see how things are, I'm going to cover some classes, what's strong, what's weak. This isn't going to be a tier list by any means. I'll just hit on a couple classes that I feel like talking about. And then I'll also talk about population. And then last but not least, we'll talk about performance for this patch. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and hop into classes. So an OP class, and probably the only one I think is, really OP, is going to be Warden, Sam, or Mag at this point. It's crazy because Mag Warden was so bad for so long. So I really don't want to say too much because I don't want to see them nerfed into the ground again. I really don't. I love that Magden is viable again. However, they probably could get tuned back defensively a little bit. Stamdens are ridiculous defensively. I mean, they're really fast. They can block. They have crazy heals. Or block a lot, should I say. Obviously, all classes can block, but you get my point. And Stamdens feel pretty much unkillable right now. I think that they probably need some work in terms of defensiveness. I think offensively they're fine. I don't have any gripes with that, but they can be very difficult to kill. I've, ran into quite a few players who aren't the most skilled to be nice about it, and they're able to survive against me 1v1, or, even if they're trying to 2v1 me and I can't kill them because they're a warden. As you can see in the clip you're watching, I'm on a Magplar, and I'm struggling to kill that warden that is 3v1ing me. Obviously, it's only 2v1 right now, but initially that's what it was. And as you can see, it's going to take me a long time to kill that guy. So feel free to, watch the clips in the background if you want. They're just kind of some throwaways on some classes that I would never actually probably do a full video on. So enjoy them as you may. With that being said, I think DK defensively is also pretty ridiculous right now. I've been zerged down by quite a few DKs that, it's a 2vx, maybe 2v6, 7, something like that. And me and my partner will double ult them, and they get on their back bar and they're unkillable. And they can just hold block forever. They take 0 damage while they're blocking. And it's crazy because I've played Dragonite, and if you try to run like a 2H bow build or, dual wield 2H, the tankiness just goes out of the window. It's like you have no more tankiness. Even an Ice Staff isn't that tanky. I don't understand what the deal is with Dragonites and Sword and Board, but it's been pretty ridiculous for a while. I don't mind DK being tanky and strong, but when they have a lot of damage too, I think that's pretty crazy. And I think their damage is fine right now. I don't have any gripes about their damage, so to say, but defensively with the Sword and Board specifically, they are insane. So I also think when it comes to classes that are kind of weak, of course Magsork is not good. It's still not good. I feel like it's a little better though from last patch. So I can't complain that much, but and it does feel a little bit better, but not much. So I'd really like to see a complete rework of the Sork class. Sork is the only class that doesn't have a burst heal. I understand that Sorks have shields though, so like if they had a burst heal and those monster shields, like that would be insane. So trust me, I'm not delusional. I don't think that Sorks should, get a. And when I say burst heal, I know what you guys are thinking. They have dark deal and dark conversion. That's not what I mean. I mean like an instant cast, like every other class. Like you see how I'm hitting Breath of Light or Honor of the Dead 100 times in a row, and there's no way anyone could interrupt me even if they bash. Like that's what I mean. I mean instant cast. And but I do realize with their shields that would be like madness if they had that. So I don't really know, and I don't really have any answers to how to really buff Sork and put Sork in a good spot to where they're more on par with other classes. Also Streak is pretty crazy, so I'm not really sure what. I don't really know how to put them in a more balanced world or get them with all the other classes. I also don't think Magplar is great. They're really hard to solo with in particular. I think, and then their cleanse costing a lot is, it's pretty crazy. But I'm not going to complain about Magplar. They've been, cancer for a while now, so I don't want to be that guy. But they are pretty hard to solo with, so that's pretty much all I have to say. Every other class I feel like falls in the B to A tier, maybe C tier. Um, but all in all, I think that the game is actually really balanced right now in terms of class balancing. Obviously, some are more overpowered than others, but I don't think ESO will ever get to a point where every single class is equal, and I don't think it should be, because then that takes away the uniqueness of every class. So some classes are bursty, some classes are more like whittle down and pressure based. Like it just depends, and I think that's what makes the game fun. We'll go ahead and get into population. So population has actually been surprisingly different and sporadic. Yeah, some nights I'll get on and Blackreach will have nothing going. Greyhost is 2 barring and 1 barring. And then other nights, like last night actually, or the night before that, this weekend, Blackreach had a 20-minute wait. And I play on the PCNA server, so if you're curious as to what population I'm talking about, it's the PCNA server. Overall, the population has been pretty good. I honestly thought that ESO was truly dying when I left, like a few months ago, and just to take my break. I wasn't planning on quitting for good. It just, everybody needs that break, and I think it's important. Keeps the game fun when you're, not burning yourself out on it all the time. And so, I just took my break, and now I'm having fun on the game again and ready to play. But with that being said, population is surprisingly high compared to what I thought. I had saw the hundreds of videos about ESO being dead and dying and not being a good game. And so I was sure when I hopped on, it was going to be, and it was PCNA players that were making these videos. So I was sure when I hopped on, things would be a lot different than they are. But maybe population spiked. Maybe during the time I was gone, population was low, and people took a break like me. Maybe. So I'm not gonna call anybody a liar, but if it was true, it is no longer true, I will say. So population's good. And then during the event, the population on PCNA is always like stupid. Like you pretty much can't even play in Blackreach because it's so populated. Forget Greyhost. And then last but not least, we'll talk about performance. I'll quickly touch on that. Performance has actually been one of the letdowns since I came back. When I left a few months ago and took my break, performance was actually really good. It was probably better than it's ever been. And then now that I've come back, performance has actually dipped a little bit. I'm not going to pretend like it's on console level. And I'm not speaking for any of you console players. I know console is awful. I played on console for 4 years. Trust me. I haven't played on the new console, so I don't know how PS5 handles the game. I don't know how Xbox, the new one, handles it. But PS4 and Xbox One specifically, trust me, I know. It's awful. But specifically for PCNA, mind you, I also have a pretty expensive PC, and that is not a flex. I'm just speaking in terms of that's the experience I have playing the game, and my game doesn't actually run that smooth, even with all that being said. So performance was actually a little bit of a letdown. I'm hoping that they, make a strong emphasis to improve that. And they said they will, but I mean, we all know it's us, it's ZeniMax. We've been down this road. However, we did see some ray of light this year with the hardware upgrades or whatever they wanted to attribute the increased performance to. But hopefully they really work on that, and we'll just see. Another big note that I wanted to say, so that's kind of the end of my state of PvP, but I kind of have a side note for some of my content creators out there is seriously take a break from the game. I see a lot of you, is ESO dead? Is ESO alive? Will ESO make it another year? ESO will make it many more years to come. Will it be the most populated game in the world? Obviously not. But ESO is here to stay. There's not a new MMO that I see on the horizon that can give you the combat gameplay other than Ashes, but we don't know if that's coming out. So other than Ashes, I haven't seen anything personally. And if you guys have, please put it in the comments, because I definitely would love to check out something new. But in terms of like combat, and how fun it is, there's really nothing I've seen that is giving us, something like it. So, just take a break, guys. Like seriously, nobody needs to hear every week that ESO's dying and that you don't like the game and that the game is shit. We know, we know. I'm not sticking up for ZeniMax at all. Trust me, I'm not. But nobody wants to hear that all the time, and you're honestly the thing is that the game is in an okay spot. It's not perfect. It's not where it should be, obviously, but it's in a spot where it is still fun and you can find fun in it. And a lot of the content creators that are always shitting on the game, you're actually hurting the population more than you know, because people actually believe what you say. They actually take everything you say to the bank. And when you're telling people that the game is just dog shit and not leaving the door open for them to at least make their own opinions, which, don't get me wrong, as your own person, you probably should make your own opinions, but some people just aren't like that. But I feel like that's what's probably hurting the population as well, is the fact that there's YouTubers every 2 days making videos about how the game sucks. And if you're on console, I encourage you that if you do love how the game, the concept of the game, I know it sucks to start over, but seriously, think about switching to PC. The game will be alive for many more years on PC, so it's not like you'll be, just doing it for nothing. It really is a whole different experience on PC. But that's kind of all I had. I don't want to keep rambling. I've talked now for a while, so I hope you guys did enjoy. I hope that this was informative enough for you guys. I try to keep it as positive as I possibly can, but it's the best we can do. Happy New Year's to all of you guys. I didn't say it in my last video because I recorded it before New Year's, but Happy New Year's, and hopefully we have a fun year of ESO content, and hopefully you guys enjoy the content over the next year. So with that being said, that's all I got. I'll see you guys next time. Later.